got it. What is that? Paint by number? What is that? My number back there? Or what? Hey, I'm a bag on you now. I'm the guest.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's just, hey, whatever it takes, man.
What do we got here? Walk me through. Thanks for having me, Jason. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man, Jim, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Actually, I mean, look, you're actually the inspiration behind me doing this, doing Zoom calls with other people.
And we had that conversation, you know, and I'm glad it's working out. So I'm kind of honored to be on, dude.
Yeah, like, you're my first guest doing it this way. I mean, you
really?
know, oh yeah. You know, I'm excited. You know, it's like obviously I talked to you about this. Is that
sure?
You know, I've got like what you do. You know, the JD Happy Hour. You guys do live on Facebook, but you know, here obviously what I do is obviously record everything and, you know, a little more general conversation about stuff. But, you know, I've got, you know, friends like you and all over the world that I just can't get in here into my studio. And, you know, watching your guys' show and, you know, last September, you and Dan having, you know, Fred and I on.
Oh, so good. So good. So good. Hey, love to do it again and talk about some race. I want to get into the grind, the competition, I've heard nothing but, you know, Brett Whitman and I talk a lot, you know, and he, you know, when he told me, you know, he used to go down there to you guys and it's a flipping invitational every practice, dude. I mean, hey, just don't let Cheryl beat me.
Hey, Cheryl's gonna beat everybody.
Yeah. Chad and Cheryl left on the track, you know, so, but it's so good. But talking to him and then, you know, you mentioned something just a second ago, Jay, and I want to kind of broaden this a little bit. And I mentioned this on our show before. So, and I want this to spark interest in your show. We have a friends circle. And I know you and I back in the day, I know I'm a little bit older than you. We didn't talk a lot at meets. I just enjoyed watching you skate, with the champions team. And I mean, it was a powerhouse team and you get to learn and know everybody through skating. Outside of skating, still be friends. The circle's smaller that way. It's real small. Like you and Fred are best friends. You probably met in skating, I'm guessing, years ago, and then it just developed in a great friendship and your friends outside after life after skating, so to speak. I have a few of those myself, but it's the other ones that I'm like, then you question what, you were just my friend because we were doing the same sport, or, we hung out at meets, or we officiated together, we skated in the same division, or, we did this, we did that. But there's been a number of people that I've been able to, and vice versa, been able to call and go, hey, what are you doing this weekend?
Yeah.
Mind if I come down? You see what I mean? You know where I'm going with that. So
absolutely. And you're right. Fred and I, we did meet in skating, and a lot of people, what they don't know is that Fred is actually the one who taught me how to, he's the first person that ever actually showed me how to speed skate. I was a figure skater.
Well, the other guy wasn't.
Huh?
The other guy wasn't going to do that.
No.
No, hats off to him. Chad's phenomenal. So yeah.
Well, yeah, Paul owned the rink.
Sure.
And I growing up, when I was a kid, when I say kid, I was 7, 8 years old. I actually did figure skating. And, I've told this story many times, that I was pretty good at figure skating. I actually made nationals every year. But I was kind of like, I was ostracized in there because I was a rough and tough boy. I wasn't, delicate, like you kind of have to be in that sport.
A little bit. Yeah.
And so I I guess one day, Paul, at some point, Paul had approached my parents and, said, hey, why don't you let Jason try out for the speed team? Cause I would go to the sessions and of course, I'd race around there even in my figure skates. And one day I just said, I said, fuck this. I'm done. I'm done figure skating. By the way, you can cuss on my show. I know we can't cuss on your show. You can cuss on my show.
I don't like it. You won't hear me. So it's all good.
All
I'll wait till afterwards.
Yeah.
But you're good. No, you're fine. You're good.
But yeah, so like Fred would one day I was at session and Fred and I were talking and he was like, hey man, would you like to learn how to do a relay tag? And so
how old? When did this all take place? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're coming up on 40 now?
Yeah, I'll be 40 in 2 months.
Yeah, so it's just coming up. I thought it was coming up. Wow, dude, man, that's crazy, huh? That's crazy.
It really is insane because, but just the friendship to, the dynamics of everything, like you're expanding on that with the friendships and skating, Fred and I, like I said, we've known each other since we were 10 and we're best friends now. We're very, very close. I mean, we literally see each other every single day. Whether it's,
poor thing.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
He should be on here right now. He should be on here right now, kicking it.
Yeah. Well, he's got a sick kiddo at home right now. So he's, I went by there, check on, he picked him up from school earlier today. I went over there and checked on him.
Yeah. Good deal.
But, that's the weird thing is that you're talking about the competitiveness at Champions, the way it was back in the 90s is that.
So Jason, I'm going to interrupt just a second. Yeah. I want you to go into that because Brett can only say so much. You can say, I can go down the list and name off a bunch of people that I knew that skated there and they would all probably have a different persona of what they experienced in those practices.
Yeah.
And that it was like a boot camp every day. Can I say that? I'm going to say that, Paul. The boot camp. You ran a boot camp down there, and you came out with some strong Marines. So yeah.
Well, it was insane to say the least. Like I said, I started skating in realistically speed skating when I was 12. So 1994 and the Champions at this point was just exploding. They were about 2 years at this point, really fully into like full-time inlines. Everybody had transitioned to inlines at this point. There was almost no quad skaters and the team was just exploding. I mean, just young talent, obviously like Kirk Davis, and BJ Robinson. Well, BJ started in East Texas. He was a East Texas sprinter.
Longview, right? Longview, yeah.
And then he ended up coming down. He would come down and train with us as he got a little bit older. But these guys, like, there's some skaters that like Jason Lee. There's a guy named Jason Lee, dude. First off, one of the nicest individuals. I actually have a story. I feel so bad. One of the things, I don't have a lot of regrets in my life. But I can tell you there's a story about Jason Lee that is probably one of the biggest regrets in my life that it was something I did. Long story short, Jason, like I said, super nice guy. I'm probably 9 years younger than him. Obviously just exploding, getting really, really fast. And in the midst of one of our summer practices where it's just absolutely insane and everybody's going balls to the wall, super competitive. Jason did something on a relay. And I remember, and like I said, I'm probably 13, 14 years old and I am screaming at him at the top of my lungs. I mean, he's a senior man and I'm a freshman boy. And I'm literally screaming at him at the top of my lungs. And I remember that. And it was just like, Paul even pulled me to the side afterwards and told me like absolutely how rude and like disrespectful that was. Cause Jason was just the nicest guy.
It's a heat of heat of the moment. I get it. Yeah, yeah, totally.
Well, to go there, so you start with these regular practices, and you start with, we would practice Tuesday, Thursday night, Saturday afternoons, Sunday afternoons. Paul owned the rink, so we could pretty much practice whenever. And the practices were always super, super competitive. They, you're talking about 40, 50 people at practice at all times. You're talking about Cheryl, Chad, Gypsy would come along from time to time. Dante and Tony Muse would drop in, but then we have all of our, and so you're seeing Steven Springer, Colby Anderson, Gerald Kendall, Nathan Whitaker. These are all just, by any standard, any stretch of the imagination, these were just national, competitive. Jordan Nelson.
Get out there.
Beto Pena. Yeah, Sean Broussard.
There you go. There's another one. Yep. Sure. Yeah.
So we would just have this. It was just this insane, these regular practices, and then come the summertime, it was like a battlefield, because Paul did not just straight pick like relay teams. We had runoffs, we had competitions, and it was like a build up to regionals where for 2 and 3 weeks, you're going head to head, nonstop, day in, day out, twice a day, during the summer. Summers were literally twice a day. And it was a gauntlet. It was insane. And so that's actually when it occurred, because again, I'm not skating against Jason Lee, but I happened to be on a relay team because I would challenge up, and and he did something that caused my team to lose, which I thought in my mind was going to affect my placement on my sophomore team. Which it had no effect on it whatsoever. But in my young adolescent mind, that's the way it was. So it was just an insane environment. You had to be tough, because every day people are throwing up, people are passing out, people are quitting. It got to the point, and this is kind of where it went with like Fred and I, as we both started making the world team. I made it at 14, he made it at 15, and then he made it again at 16, and I made it again at 15, 16, 17. And what ended up happening is we got super competitive, but we were always 1 year apart. So when I was a first year freshman, he was a second year freshman, and so on and so forth.
Going skated against him actually 1 year in division.
Exactly. So when it came to the relays, obviously uber competitive, because we were always competing for that, especially when we got into the junior man. We wanted that senior 4-man. And so we started getting super, super competitive, and we were very close. We used to stay the night at each other's houses. He was constantly at mine, I was constantly at his. It was the funniest thing because, I knew where like he kept his dirty magazine stash, at his parents' house.
And those of you that, Jason, and those of you that know who Jason's talking about, his name's Fred Lacey. Yeah. Everyone knows him as Fourth Lacey. So, sorry, Fourth, throwing you under the bus a little bit. So I just want to make that note so we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, so when we turned 30 years old, everybody's called him Fourth since we were children. And he's Fred William Lacey the Fourth. So everybody just called him Fourth. And his dad was Fred. Everybody called his dad Fred. Well, when I told him, I said, look, when we hit 30 years old, this has been going on for 10 years now. We hit 30 years old. I said, I'm done calling you Fourth. I said, you're a fucking adult now. We're grown-ups, and you know what? I'm like, and it's a gobbledygook name. It's like a made up. I get it. You're the Fourth, but it's, I'm calling you Fred from now on. So I'm literally the only person in his life that calls him Fred.
Yeah, and that's why I say, bring Fred on or whatever. So people don't know that. So for all those you don't know, Fred Lacey, the fourth is Fourth Lacey. So,
right. Right.
so let me tell you about a comment. When I kind of first met Fred back in the day, he asked me, that's so fun. I'm throwing you under the bus, Fred. So he asked me, he goes, so Jim, where are you from? And I said, Springfield. And he goes, Missouri? I go, no, Illinois, the capital. He goes, I thought Chicago was the capital. I go, hey, dumbass. I just said I'm from the capital. He goes, well, I thought Chicago was the capital.
Dude,
you better go back to like 8th grade, buddy, or like before that when we started learning.
I tease him all the time because he's an extremely bright individual. Like he has a lot of instinct and he's very good with numbers and everything else. But I tease him a lot because he was homeschooled.
And no, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So, but a lot of little things like that, like I would, he'll say something and I'll, and somebody will look at him like where the fuck did that come from? Like, look, he was homeschooled. Okay. He was, give him a break a little bit.
Easy on him a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad you brought me on because now I don't have my backdrop up.
Yeah.
And you can see. This is a lot of it thanks to you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. You got the wainscoting, everything. You got the chair rail. Looks great in there.
All of it. Threw it up, trim.
Yeah.
The guy over there, I put the wrought iron shelves, stained, sanded the whole wall completely, matched up the V's to the accent wall, and then I whitewashed it with a stain or a primer white. That's why it kind of looks a little bit lighter than the back wall.
Yeah.
I made that cross out of a 4x4 and stained that and notched it together. That's notched. Here, I got something cool for you. This is really cool. You'll like this. I showed this on the show not too long ago.
Some flooring. You got some.
Is
that rink flooring?
Yes, it is. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
All tongue and grooved. This is from not Skate Corral in Springfield. This is Skateport in Springfield. The other rink that's not there anymore.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. I want to make something. I got to get this put together so I can I want to put something on this. But Ted Hall, I miss you, man. Ted Hall from Springfield, Skateport, Springfield, Missouri. That's his floor right there.
I tried explaining to somebody how expensive a skating rink floor is. Especially in an environment like today. Ooh.
Oh, you know. And thank you for all the tidbits and the help and what the fuck. Dude, you see my tool rack. Jason, I saw you doing this. How do I do that? I go out and buy it. I ran right back. I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without any of this. There's no way. First go. So your name's on this. Your name's on this, bro. Your name's on this. You should have seen this before. I had to tear it all out and paint. Oh my God.
Well, did you ever start that table? You were talking about doing a table with the metals and everything in the top and the epoxy and all that. Did you ever get into that?
You got a quick second? I'm just going to run and go grab it. It'll take me 20 seconds. Be right back.
See, this is why the show's called Manage Chaos, because you really never know what's going to occur. There's always something that happens. So, I mean, quite honestly, it's the first time I'm doing the show like this. So I don't even know how it's actually going to appear on recording. I don't know if we're placed side by side or if there's like a little picture of me inside the picture of him. I really don't even know. I don't even know how it's going to look. So trying to figure that out right now. Haven't had any of these in a while. Haven't had the to take the breaks
All right, so it was more like 45 seconds.
That's
okay,
all right.
I'm old. I can't sprint that quick. Plus, I'm in my socks. So what I did is I'm just going to show the back of this real quick. It's just a tray. Look, I didn't even open it up. It's a table tray.
Yeah.
It's just a tray, and it's just a tray. Kind of looks like this. It's like hold it like this. So I took out some metals out of stuff that I had downstairs and kind of pulled off the ribbons. And I'm like, you know what? I can do something with this. I want to put these into a tray and then put epoxy over it. Yeah. So it's kind of rough looking. It's going to look it's probably going to look better than it does in person on the screen, but I'm not happy with it because part of it, I did this a year ago and it's still, I don't know if I mixed it wrong. It didn't harden all the way. So this is what I did.
Oh, that looks great.
It does look good, but right here, you can see it. It's peeled. See it?
Yeah.
It peeled and it bubbled really bad, but it's just some metals that I put together and put it into a tray. But I talked to Brett, and he's good with this stuff, and he says that I could probably do another coat over this to kind of seal this up a little bit.
Yeah.
And put another thin coat over this and heat gun it or blowtorch to bring the bubbles out. So
yeah, that's the great thing about epoxy. With the epoxies, it is self-leveling, but yes, when it starts to harden.
Remember these?
Oh yeah.
Right here. The US Cup.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, and it's funny because you got the Naira on there, and we were talking about that a little bit earlier today.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's just, wow. I mean, a lot of people have different views on the tracks for the two organizations. And I personally, I like the Naira track, and I'm going to keep calling. I don't care. They didn't develop the track. It was already developed prior to that. So Joe Cotter and Charlie Lucas and them guys have that name. That's National Inline Racing Association. They're stuck with it. That's what I call it. That's what they took. So people can argue that so they're blue in the face. I don't care. It's a Naira track. You didn't develop anything. You just wanted to change it because you didn't want to do the other track. So
well, what's the difference between that and like what we skated on back in the late 90s, early 2000s?
Like their track. Are you talking about Naira compared to what they skate on now?
Well, yeah, I mean,
are you talking about 4 cones versus?
Right. Yeah. Explain the difference in the tracks.
I wish I had that. I could share that picture, but the track, the Naira track is made up with, it's an oval like ice. It's like the ice track. The USARS track is made up with two cone or 4 cones. It's a 4-corner. It's a rectangle. So the oval, which I call the Naira track, is the oval. That's made up with an apex. And probably I believe it's 8 cones on each corner, and the straightaways are widened because the corners are so narrow. It's just like it's almost like they got the idea and the concept from short track ice. It's the same concept. They developed a pattern. Go ahead.
Is it 110 meters?
Right about that. I believe that's what the ice oval is 110 meters. I believe the same track because it's 5 meters difference on each side. Mm-hmm. Now, if the US RSS designed it that way and measured it that way, it should be really close to that. And the times, when you look at some of the times from the national championships that they've had, the American championships, they do reflect that it is going to be that type of time because they start in the middle of the straightaway. They do it like worlds. So they start in the middle of straightaway, on track races. They don't start down at the other end. So times are going to be from the gun. That's when the time starts. Times finishes when you, of course, cross a line, whether they're using a beam or a stopwatch. And I'm pretty sure they use a beam of some sort. So
are they using that particular track now in sanctioned events, or is this more of a?
Yes. So so the USRSS is using that style track at their America's Championships, and they do have several league meets that are going on. I believe one's coming up I think it's coming up here pretty soon. And I believe it's down at Dave Weber's rink again.
Emerald Coast.
Yep. I think he's having another meet down there. And it's going to be kind of a USRSS event, which it should be good. You know, it's more of a league meet, not the invitational like you just had. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I just spoke to him this morning for a little bit. Him and I bounce ideas off each other. And, you know, as far as the sport and the direction, some of the rules, the direction of everything, you know, it's like, you know, hey, this has got to change, you know. And I said this last night on our show, Jason, is the division has happened. You know, it's going from one side or this, going from here to there. Okay, well, I don't want to go there because of so-and-so, and I don't want to go there because I don't like that meet promoter or that meet host or operator or, you know, meet director. I don't want to go there because so-and-so is going to be, I don't like that official staff, or, you know, oh, it's too expensive, I can't go there, you know, and then they got to pick and choose. I don't care what people say. That's all that they've done right now, is they've caused the population of our sport to pick and choose. And it's going to be going where their friends go. That's exactly our league in the Great Lakes Speed League. And I hope people watch this, because it doesn't bother me. I don't care. Our Great Lakes Speed League, one of some of our league meets were like invitationals. I'm talking serious, and I'm talking 220 to 275 at our league meets. Usually, if we didn't have 200, it was real close to 170, 190, right in there. Mm-hmm. Our league meets were stacked. League meets. You had to work. I mean, it was tough, and it was good training. When this came about, and the RSA and the USRSS developed their organization, it split our league probably 2/3 and 1/3. And it killed it. It basically ruined our league. And I believe the people that are running it knew that they could do that because of who's doing it and who's behind it. That part has left a sour taste in my mouth, because they didn't do it for the sport. They did it because of selfishness, knowing that, hey, it's big. Jason, we had one of the biggest leagues in nationwide. The Great Lakes Speed League was huge. You know, you're talking the 5 states. It was big. And we had Kentucky coming up. We had Missouri coming over. So nobody's going to go to a league meet with 60 people at it. I mean, they do if they're close, but you're not going to travel 5 hours to go skate with 60 people. No. Maybe, you know.
What was the benefit for the split? I mean, did they did it for completely selfish reasons, or was there actually, was there a stated purpose for them trying to separate it?
I would think it's probably more control, so they can control it, so they can develop, you know, and have that governing body take in everybody to their side, and they can host a world team and get the USOC or IOC on their side, and then they pull from the world team and they make a world team. That's the only what else would it be? Well, you can have 2 national championships going on at the same time, but who's gonna be the one that keeps the control of who goes to worlds, who's the governing body, who's under the umbrella of the IOC or USOC, which is USA Roller Sports. They're under that umbrella, not them. So not the roller skating rinks, but we do need the roller skating rinks. But if you go to a team, let's say you're new, you have friends that skate or whatever, and they're trying to talk you into it, but the skating rink is one or the other, but you want to go here, but you can't because you're enticed to go skate this league or this organization, but they don't want you there. What are you going to do? That's the question. I mean, are you going to pick and choose? Do you have to pick and choose? Why can't? So I don't know if you watched the show last night or the other night. We had Ben Carey on from Frenchtown, New Jersey. He had a meet Sunday, which he combined and put together the USARS track on a couple of races for division and the USRSS track on a couple of divisions. Each skater probably got 6 to 8 races plus the opens on each track. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you make it happen right there. Now you're going to get the best of both worlds coming into play. But who gets the money? There's the other question. Who gets the money? So what are you putting together? But if you have to buy a sanction, you switch the track from USARS, from USA Roller Sports, you have to buy a sanction? It's another question you can ask.
You know, I
to
was
be
talking.
insured. To be insured.
I actually talked to Stephen Carter when I interviewed him down in Waco. You know, a big thing that he did say that they are trying to enforce changes that culturally that they're trying to change within you know, USA Roller Sports is the good old boy network, the traditional power where it was the
Those people gotta go.
because it's unfortunately it's, you know, hey, look, I mean, we live in a capitalist economy, and you can't blame them for wanting to make money, and maintaining control and power on that level is how they make money, but it doesn't help grow the sport. And so at least I guess from the executive level, they've done away with a lot of those individuals. And it sounds like what's happening is back at kind of like the ground level, where the owners, based on kind of what you're saying, is that the owners have kind of dug back in and they've come together and says, okay, well, hey, fine. You guys don't, you know, we're going to take our ball and we're going to go start our own league, basically is what I'm hearing you're saying.
It's totally what happened. Because they can't control that organization. They're going to do it from the rinks within and going out. Let's grow, well, you can't do it without us. What do you mean we can't do it without you? But they get enough rink operators involved, and you get a coach that comes in, oh, well, we want to skate those events. Well, you can't, because we're the RSA, or we're the USRSS. You have to do it this way.
It's funny because you did mention that earlier. It does sound like Russia. You know, the USSR.
USRSS.
Yeah. It does. That's very funny. That's
I won't tell you who told me that, but I just heard that.
Yeah. That's funny because it does. Every time you say it, I just hear I'm hearing USSR, Russia.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Red Dawn, Patrick Swayze coming over a hill,
Yeah. But I'm not going to sit here and talk bad about the organization, but, do what you got to do. But I think there can be some bending somewhere and come together on a lot of it. And I've said that numerous times on our show. Danny and I both said it. And I'm going to say it here tonight on your show. I really, truly believe, and you mentioned Steve, I'm not going to say Steve's a bad person to have where he's at. I won't say he's the best person for it, but he knows the sport. That's where he's been in a long time. He's educated. He knows, so Steve, giving you props, bro. Him and I don't talk too much as of late, but that's okay. Hey, forgive and forget. It is what it is. He is a good person to have in there if people will listen. People have to listen to the executive director, Heidi. Ricky Kometz has a lot of interesting ideas, a lot of direction that she can propose. I just think the whole thing can be tons better, and I'll tell my story here in a second, but it's really left a sour taste in my mouth. And I want everybody to hear this firsthand, because people have a false accusation of what happened to me and why I'm not skating. They all think that I can't come back. Well, I thought I had that paper right here. I should have printed it.
I'm
Safe
glad you're
sport.
bringing this up because this I definitely wanted to go here tonight
Yeah.
and talk about
Safe-
this.
Yeah, safe sport. Safe sport, pass the safe sport exam, everything you got to do for safe sport. And then they, of course, they do a background check and everything else. And I'll get to that. And I don't mind telling everybody this, but it's just a thing that happened. But as far as my suspension goes, my suspension was up in May of 19. I was able to come back 3 years ago. Wasn't even a problem. I just chose not to because of what happened, because it left a sour taste in my mouth, because we had a board go in. Just so you guys know, when you guys all watch Jason's show tomorrow or tonight or whenever he posts this live or recorded view, that my suspension was had nothing to do with my background or anything that I did outside of skating. I literally reffed a couple meets without a membership card. I was the vice president of our speed league, the Great Lakes Speed League, and I reffed a couple meets. So starting out at the end up to December, so you guys all know the true story here. And here it is. You're getting it firsthand, Jason. So I'm happy to give this to you. So in 2000 up to 2016, my credential for being an official, I was a referee on the floor in 2016 at Nationals. I skated and ref. Unfortunately, I went through a divorce after this, and I got suspended after the 2017 regionals. I'd already skated regionals and made it out of the Great Lakes region. I get a letter 2 weeks later saying I'm being suspended for not having not a credential. You don't. So people, I'm gonna, because I'm gonna get mad at this, and I will probably start dropping some bombs here. So there was a protest put in on me for roughing certain meets without my membership. Now, there's a difference between a membership and a credential. A credential is earned. A membership is something you buy. Okay, so I didn't buy a membership for 2000 going into 2000, the rest of 2017, 18. I was an amateur card holder, okay, membership card holder after 2016. So when 2016 ended, I was given, that would include November of 2016. Okay, so the new season has started. Okay, so I have a letter from the executive director, Danny Brown, at that time, that said my credential and my membership was good up until the December 31st of 2016. Okay, I have a letter, black and white letter, USA Roller Sports letterhead, everything. So I skate the rest of the year. We have league meets going on. The LOL Invitational was on. It was in November of 2016. I didn't skate the event. I officiated, and I was the vice president of the league. So I'm there. We go to the next meet, which is in Anderson, Indiana, which is the new year of 2017. I officiate, but I'm only on the floor as a supporting official. And because we had plenty of officials, I was just helping out as we went. And I was, again, the vice president of the league. At the following meet in March in Crystal Lake, Illinois, up at Crystal Wheels, Extreme Wheels in Crystal Lake, Illinois, Chicago area, I sign a card with Bell Speed Club. I get my membership card with them. What are you doing, Jason?
I'm listening to you. I'm playing with the screen here.
Okay. So I get, I talked to Chris Kiesler of Bell Speed Club, and I said, yeah, I'll skate for you guys. Just give me a uniform. We'll get the card taken care of. We'll get this all taken care of at the meet. Mm-hmm. We signed at the Crystal Lake League meet, the Great Lakes Speed League. It was the second meet. It was the very second meet. It was the second weekend of March. I filled out the amateur card, paid for the amateur card. Amateur card, yellow copy went here. I kept a pink copy. The rest was supposed to be sent off to USA Roller Sports. I'm thinking it's done, right? Done. I got my card. I got my copy of the paper. Okay. So 2 weeks later, Mr. Blair calls me and says, hey, can you ref coming down to Georgia? We're doing a meet. Yes. Am I saying the Hotel Blair? Yep. You got your room. It's here. Who else is reffing? Blah, blah, blah. I said, by the way, I said, I'm going to skate too. I said, I have everything taken care of. Everything's good. Okay. No problem. Put you in. We got you reffing. Everything's good. Get down there with no problem. We had our last league meet March in April in Danville, Illinois. We go to regionals in May in Watertown, Wisconsin at Marty Laufer's rink. Make it out of everything. And 2 weeks later, I get home and I get a letter. There's been a protest put on me that said that I have reffed meets without a credential. Okay, well, one meet without the credential part is what's confusing. And I don't think the board really, or the executive committee, I don't think the speed committee, I don't think the speed, whoever, the referees committee, whatever committees they have that review these for protests. So I had asked, I said, okay, I have like 14 days to put in a rebuttal or a reply or an appeal. So I list everything. And I'm like, no, that's totally untrue. I said, because here's the letter from Danny Brown, says my credential is good up to the end of December 31st, 2016. So that took care of me for the Thanksgiving meet. When the new year comes over to February and I go to Anderson, Indiana, and I did ref a little bit in that meet as a supporting official, but there are people that ref meets, league meets, standing on corners and reffing meets. Hey, can you help ref? You've been a ref before, without a credential, without any kind of credential. They might not even be a member or watch a cone or do this or do that or make calls, whatever. But since I was the vice president of the league, I'm in a supporting role, helping everybody else on the floor. So we get to Mr. Blair's meet. Again, I wasn't the chief, but I was in a supporting role again there. I was only the starter. I did a lot of, I have video of it. And I did the Emerald Coast Challenge. I did Emerald Coast in January. That was the other one I went to, Dave Weber's meet. I was the supporting official. I wasn't the head referee. I was blowing a whistle. So, but I had a membership card. Okay. No big deal. So, which I thought. So I get this, I get back after regionals and I get this letter and I'm like, are you kidding me? So now I got to go back and collect all the data, all the events, all the recollecting this and what happened and supporting documents. I send it all in. I get another letter back, 2-year suspension. Basically for reffing, folks, I'm telling you this, one meet without a membership card. I'm going to own up to one meet without a membership card. Okay. Now, there was another official, and I'm not going to mention names. There was another official that was protested at the same time by this certain by another official that was, remember when I said earlier about a circle of friends or friends in skating? That's this friend. It's an outside circle. It's, you know, you're not friends outside of this, outside of the circle, outside of the skating circle. Mm. He also was put in, protested against for doing the same thing that I did. Exact same thing. And person calls and they appeal it and he gets a year probation. I'll tell you later. So that's what set sour with me. Like I did nothing. It's irregardless of what I did in my past. I didn't do anything to the sport, but I have some pissed off fellow referee that doesn't like me, that just can put in a protest on anybody for any reason. Is that what you're wanting? So now I'm going to spill it. Janine Foster, I think you're wrong. Janine Cobb, I think you're wrong for doing what you did to me. You had no business. Even all you had to do was maybe, hey, maybe you should have called somebody and said, hey, Jim's reffing meets without his membership card. Okay. Now, regardless of what I've done in my life, my personal life, and it's aired out there by your friend Kim Kassan or Kim Egger, that pisses me off. My business is none of your business. If I'm at a meet with you, total utmost respect. We ref together. We do this. I ref with Kim at Nationals in 2016. You know, like everything was fine. And then 6 months later, you're throwing my personal business on Facebook or social media, telling the world of what I've done. And this is what I've got an X on my back for this or that or that. Yeah, no, I'm not proud of it, but crap happens. And sorry, but I've never done anything to hurt any parent, coach, skater, anything in our sport. Anything. Jason, you know how long I've been in the sport? 45 years.
A long time, yeah.
I got a resume this long in this sport. Not any conflicts besides one. And Pete Snell, if you ever watch this show, I got your email a while back. It's been a while. I respect you. Hey, water under the bridge. It's over. You know, we got into a little.
I'm actually going to have Pete on. I actually spoke with him the other night. He's
good deal.
Yeah, he's traveling. He's traveling for work and everything, but he's going to come on in a couple weeks.
They're good. Tell him I said hi. Well, he's going to see it. Yeah. You know, I want him to know that I got the email. I just didn't reply to it. Said, you know, we'll let it go. And actually, I was in Tulsa not too long ago. I did our live feed at a meet in Tulsa. Down there, hung out with Chip Excel, and you know, I didn't ask where Pete was, but I don't think he was around at the time, you know, and everything. But you know, hey,
I got to tell you, Pete, I have a really special look. I obviously I've been on such the periphery of things. You know, look, just straight throwing it out there. Paul kicked me off the team in 1999.
Actually, you're a punk. You're a punk. You're a punk kid.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't justified. But yeah, Paul and I got into it, and he threw me off the team in 1999. And so I've been on the periphery of speed skating. And so I know, you know, I've always continued to follow because of so many friends and, you know, things like that are still involved.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'll say this, Pete holds a really like a dear place in my heart. Because quite honestly, Pete was the only person not only, but Pete was the only person from a major manufacturer who would take a risk and sponsor me. When he was the team manager for Square Dot, Pete's the reason that I got that sponsor, because I was an asshole. When I was young, I was extremely arrogant, extremely mouthy. I think that there was probably some, you know, look, I wasn't a whole lot different than some of the other people that were skating there at Champions. I think that I was intentionally by certain people. I think that I was intentionally kind of held out of certain areas. I think certain things were said about me to some sponsors so that they wouldn't pick me up. But Pete really, he took that chance on me and he picked me up. And I'll never forget him for that, because I mean, that was just, to me, I mean, that was huge.
Isn't that the phone call that everybody wants?
Yeah. You know, it was the craziest
thing. I had one of those.
Well, I was, let's see, I was a sophomore man, second year sophomore, first year junior.
Chicken.
And it was just like, because actually, I mean, there's a video. I think I won nationals my second year sophomore. I was in my Square Dot uniform, won nationals. And this was, of course, before Simmons was able to have a team and everything.
Right. Yeah, skated for them too for a little bit, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the other thing too. It's in Springfield, Missouri. There at the Show Me Showdown. When I started skating, I wore my first set of skates was a Bond. And then they came out with these ultimate boots. They were black with green on them.
Yep.
And
Remember?
I was there at the Springfield meet. And this was just when I was starting to like win every meet that I went to. I was just starting to win everything. And it was the day of practice at Springfield. I was doing a start. And about the third step, my foot ripped completely out of that boot. And Dave was there. Obviously, he's from Missouri. And
He's from Liberty, out there, Liberty, Kansas City area.
Mm-hmm. And he walked right up to me, and he gave me a set of the Visions. They had just come out with the Visions, and he gave me a set of the Visions. And I never, from that point forward, I never ever skated on another boot. Al
That's
Kaiser,
a good. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, for as far as I was concerned, I mean, he's just always been a great guy to me. I actually went and saw him in December of 2019. Went down there actually January. Actually, it was either late December, early January 20. Went down there. It's when I was gonna start coming back and skating and everything. And
You're right.
Oh, I tell you what, I bought a set of skates, Jim. I bought a set of skates. I bought a pair of Simmons and everything. But after breaking my ankle in 98, the shape of my ankle comes to a point, my left ankle, from where they had to reattach the bone. And from that point on, I always had to have custom skates. And Dave had always made me custom skates. So I bought this, the Simmons Reina, the SR package. And I tell you what, the skate is fantastic. The skate's fantastic. The frame was fantastic. The wheels that it comes with, those things suck. Those things are ridiculous. But the whole package that they sell is
price point wheel. You know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
But I could not get that boot to work on my foot. And it got to the point where actually it wore a hole through my foot. All the way down, you could see the screw head.
I mean, dipping in, right?
Oh yeah, it was bad. Yeah. So I eventually went down when I happened to be in Florida for business. Took a day trip from Miami to the West Coast where him and Jennifer live, and got molded for a set of custom skates.
Gotcha.
Never pandemic hit. I knew it was coming in the business I'm in. And so I canceled my order and everything. I was like, they're going to be shutting everything down. I'm not gonna be able to skate for like the next year. I'm not going to spend $2,000 on a boot. And they understood. But like I said, going back to that Pete, gonna have him on, and I mean, obviously that's how I met Pete, and I'm sure he knows that, but I don't think he understands how I talk to him probably on a monthly basis to this day because of that. There was just, it blew my mind, Jim. Look, I was on the world team from the time I was 14 to the time I was 17.
That's good. That's a good little tenure, dude. A lot of people can't say that.
Yeah, I mean, I had nine titles. I mean, every national record you could imagine. I held.
How many world medals you got, Jason?
9.
Oh, 9.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about inline nationals or nationals.
Oh God, no. I had nine world medals. I probably had national medals. Okay, outdoor nationals. I probably had 30 or 40 medals
Nice.
from outdoor nationals.
There you go.
Indoor nationals, I probably had another 30 or 40. Then geez, you throw on every freaking meet in the country between the
Absolutely.
Vegas, champions, Stardust, the Stardust meet, going all the way out to California for Sacramento. And it was so anyway, it blew my mind and I couldn't understand it. Again, my adolescent mind, as I got older, I realized again, I was an asshole. But I couldn't wrap my head around how I am destroying people at competitions. Winning, look, I'll tell you the truth. Look, I was always confident in myself, Jim, but when I won at 14 years old, I got, I won the 300 meter at outdoor nationals, junior men.
And you're on the team.
Yeah. And well,
you got to skate a couple more to make the team. It's not like that anymore.
Well, no. Well, yeah. Then, if you win the sprint, but now, back then it was everything was points with, right. we had the sprint champion, the road champion, the track champion, and then the overall champion, because there's only four spots. That year, I mean, I went to 2 different clinics at Colorado Springs. I really trained hard, but I certainly did not expect to win the 300 meter. When I did that, like it blew my fucking mind. Like I didn't know what it meant. I mean, I beat Freddie Young, and
that's what I was going to ask. Who were the ones in your division then that were those sprinters? But you just mentioned one phenomenal sprinter.
Freddie Young was, I mean, he was expected, he was slated, he was the go-to, the win. And
Keith Turner, he was kind of the Keith Turner guy back then. Like, oh, he's gonna win.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And so from your recollection though, Jason, so you won the 300. Did he bobble it anywhere, or did you just run a good line, or it was Colorado, right?
Yeah,
Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado Springs. No, he ran a perfect race. I just happened to be about 0.2 of a second faster.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, like I said, I was 14 years old. He's 16 or 17. Yeah, no, he was 17. He was 17 years old. It was his last year of eligibility to even skate that. And for me to come in and win that was, it was completely mind blowing. I had no idea what I had just done. And it really messed with my head. And all of a sudden I'm elevated to a completely different stratosphere within the sport. And
you're already on the
I don't know what the hell that means, I just I'm like, okay, well, I'm 14. And so, but I can tell you what started happening was I got bitter. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there going to these events and I'm just completely blowing these other skaters out of the water. I mean, destroying them. And I can't get a sponsor. Hyper wouldn't touch me. Rollerblade wouldn't touch me. Ultimate wouldn't touch me. Verducci wouldn't touch me. Again, I have my belief as to why a lot of those, specifically why those things occurred. But then I look at the other skaters on the team and I'm thinking to myself, hey guys, even if you don't fucking like me, wouldn't you rather have me on the team than the people you got there? Because the people that you got on the team, they can't beat me. So I understand, so it's like, why in the world? And I got bitter, and, and my arrogance didn't allow it didn't shut me down. That arrogance didn't shut me down, didn't take the bitterness. And I got worse. like it just magnified. And
it got the best of you instead of propel you to another level.
yeah,
You know,
like I got better and better and better. But like I said, I mean, what it ended up ultimately circling back was that nobody would step out. None of these larger corporations would step out and say, you know what, we want Jason on the team. It was, nah, we'd rather not have that little fucker on the team.
I can't speak for him. I don't know. You know, it wasn't my go. You know, but but you're right. You kind of right. You got a point. You know, but when you look at Jason, so let's go to some of the sponsor teams that you knew back in the day. Then you're going to ask yourself, why is he on that team?
Yeah.
Why is she on that team? I don't want to say they're horrible. I'm not going to say that word, but she getting spanked all over the place by that person, or he's getting spanked by that person, or you know, is it a character that they want, or is it a some type of figure that they want, putting your face on that brand? I mean, that's all marketing. You know that. It's marketing. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't.
I'll tell you what. Well, honestly, what made it even worse was a lot of the people that I was seeing that this was happening with. I mean, again, is at Champions. Look at all the people that we had there.
They're half the team was sponsored.
Yeah. I mean, all the way down. I mean, you know, you had Gerald Kendall, who skated on Ultimate, and I'm, you know, and he's getting paid good money, and I'm you know, and I'm kicking his butt all over the place. You know, and then, you know, I that magnified it, literally seeing all of these athletes. By the way, Gerald's a great guy. Yeah. But I'm everybody that I'm down there skating with, I'm seeing this and I'm like, fuck, like I'm beating every single one of you guys. And I mean, and again, I'm 14, 15, 16 years old. I'm not getting it. I don't really, you know, you don't have that much self-reflection at that point. I'm just like, oh, I realize now, like I said, I was an asshole. But I just, like, when you're that age, you're just like, I'm faster than everybody here. What the fuck? You know? And so anyway, it was that mentality. But Pete, like I said, going all the way back to it, man, Pete really, Pete took a chance on me, and it made a huge impact.
You know, the good thing that I will say, I mean, I'm not going to say anything bad about Pete. The good thing that, because he's been in the sport and he's competed against the best, he knows what it takes to earn that spot and to get a, you know, whether it's paid, whether it's getting product, whether it's getting a uniform on your back, you know, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know what took place back then. You know, me jumping into it, you know, and me working with John in 2001 for, you know, 8 to 10 years, you know, together was a good thing. But just, he does know. He knows the caliber of skaters. He's been around it. He's, you know, the people that passed through where he's at, through Oklahoma, through Tulsa, through Arkansas. He knows that Southern, he knows Texas. He's around that area. He knows the caliber of the competition, the skaters. He knows them. He's been with several brands. He knows how it works, and he's been with Doug. Him and I also work together, you know, with Legino Verducci, or Legino, not Verducci, Legino, last name. But like I said, he knows the racers. He knows what to race and what to look for, you know, if he's going to pull an athlete in.
Yeah. And you know, it's weird, you know, thinking of like someone like Pete. People don't realize that Pete was an amazing speed skater himself, who's been around for a long, long time. You know, Ricky Brock By the way, big shout out to Ricky. Ricky's a great guy.
He's awesome.
I'm not a big fan of his politics. I think he's
I think he knows that. I think he knows everybody's just not a big fan of it. Yeah. I don't talk it with him. I don't get into it. He's got his own thing. I got my own thing. And, personally, I really don't care. I really don't, because who are we? I'm not going to change anything. What am I going to change?
Well, it's him and Fred are close. Fred used to live with Ricky when he was living up in Dallas. He used to live in a house that Ricky owned. Fred for a long time actually dated Lacey.
Right, Lacey. Yeah, poor thing.
Yeah, so
I can't believe she's
out of the clear blue like that.
Totally sucks.
But he actually, it was funny because he watched, Fred and I did a live for 3 hours on New Year's Eve, and Ricky apparently watched the whole thing. And number one, it was funny because he kind of got pissed off, not angry, but he was picking on Fred, that when we were going through this list of coaches, and I think what we acknowledged coaches like that are still out there putting in the work, putting in the effort, and working with people, people like, Jeffrey Foster and Renee Hildebrandt, Jimmy Blair, these people, not to say, hey, one is better than the other, this is the best person out there. It's just to say that, hey, these people are still out there grinding and putting in the work in the sport. And Ricky is like, why didn't you mention me? And
because you're not relevant. No, you
and I wanted to tell Fred, I was like, well, because you voted for Biden, that's why. That's why we didn't mention you.
You heard it. I didn't say it, Ricky. I'm sorry, buddy. No, I'm just eating my chip. I'm just eating my chip.
It was last year. Ricky and several of his skaters came down for a little for the outdoor meet that they had.
Yeah.
And so we all went out to dinner, or lunch. We went and had a late lunch, and we just sat there for probably an hour and a half, literally talking shit to each other.
That's awesome, though. Hey, that's some good stuff, though.
Oh my God!
The more you talk, the more comes out.
Oh yeah, and it was just like this, and it's funny because, I tell everybody, like I recognize how I was when I was younger. I was angry, and I would manifest things, and I just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And as I'm older, I'm like, I really don't fucking care, but I'm gonna screw with people. Like I just know that I can mess with people now. Fred, on the other hand, he gets so aggravated and animated, and I love to work him up, because the moment you set him in motion, it's like a steamroller, and he's just like,
you trigger it, it comes off.
Oh, it's awesome. So we were sitting there at this place called Wolfie's, and we're eating, and it was right at the time when masks, it was like masks were just insanely, they were still trying to enforce masks here in Texas.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't wear one walking in. Like, I refused to wear one. Fred refused to wear one.
What's going to happen as soon as you sit down?
Exactly. So Ricky, the moment we sit down at this damn table, Ricky starts, fucking with us about not wearing the mask and everything. And so it set the wheels in motion, and it's literally like two little pit bulls, just me and Fred sitting next to each other, sitting right across the table from Ricky, literally just peppering him nonstop about his political points of view, and just, oh, it was a good time. I mean, you know.
Oh yeah. No, that's the fun stuff. You know, that's shake hands and your friends later. You know what I mean? You know, that's awesome.
No, I have a tremendous amount of respect for you know, someone like Ricky. He's been obviously, you know, he's been around. He's a great guy. He really is. He's a great guy.
I miss the banter with him. You know, seeing him and you know, chit chat with him. You know, after he, you know, the injury to his leg and it didn't really heal right. It's like, man, I got thinking that about me. I'm like, oh, Mike doesn't do that. So mine doesn't. That'd have been over.
Yeah. He, you know,
over. You know,
he has a little bit of a, you know, he walks with a little bit. You can tell he walks with a little bit of a limp and everything.
Like it's bowed. I mean, it's bowed. It's, I mean, pretty bad. I mean, you know, but I don't know if it healed incorrectly or whatever. But when I broke mine, and after 2013, I mean, it was a double. I mean, it was a break like that. It was tip break. They repaired it, put 2 plates in, and then I broke it again in 2015. They put a rod in it. Oof. I don't know what Ricky has, what type of surgery he had done to his. I'm fine. I don't feel anything on my leg. Oh, nothing. No numbness on the tops of my toes area, top of my foot, top of my foot, but nothing in the front or the side or any pain. I can go skate. I can run. I can jump. You know, whatever. Not too high or too fast because I haven't been doing anything. So, hey, I just want to tell everybody. This is the other thing I want to tell everybody on your show, Jason. This is what they're going to hear first on the Jason Husk show. I'm coming. It's coming.
When you gonna? When you return?
Not gonna give you that date yet. All I gotta do is buy an amateur card. That's all I gotta do.
So you're unrestricted now. You can come back to skating.
I can buy my amateur card tonight. So I just want everybody to know that. And when I get it, then I'm gonna flaunt it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was gonna ask you.
Oh, go ahead.
Go down this.
You know that this free for all right here. I'm good.
Obviously, I've been very open about my life. You know, the everything I've gone through, the things I did to myself. You know, the kind of the path, the things, the way, and I could tell you, obviously, people have tried to use that against me. I don't know everything about like what you went through. But
it's pretty brutal.
I've heard bits and pieces of it. And of course it's not my story to tell, but
those bits and pieces are probably half true.
Yeah. Cause it's something you and I have never talked about. We've never talked directly about it.
And I respect you asking, and I don't mind telling the story. And even we're on here, I don't mind telling, but it's what happened. It's what it is. You know, it's what happened. You know, there's no sugarcoat. There's no padding the story. It's what happened, and you know, but it has nothing. But what happened outside of skating has nothing to do with my suspension, and people think that.
Well, what I was going to ask is, do you, I mean, cause you brought up a couple, like Janine Cobb.
Yeah.
Do you, like I said, I've heard bits and pieces. Do you think that what occurred in your personal life was what motivated, you know, kind of set these wheels in motion with these people for them to want to use that against you, try to drum you out because of, you know, what was going on in your personal life?
Well, I don't think I can answer that because I don't know what they were thinking, and I don't think they know, but they might have heard through the ex-wife. They might have heard through the situation, but they don't know the situation because they weren't there. You know, I have nothing to hide of what happened. You know, I'm not gonna spill the whole story. We'll be on here for 5 hours because it's pretty brutal, and it might turn to it might turn into something that people don't like in what I've said. And that's just me. But I don't claim to be some tough guy. I don't claim to be some superhero, but what happened to me was uncalled for, even though I more or less instigated it from my own property. But with that said, and I got jumped by 3 dudes. There was a gun involved. That happened. I got charged with a gun charge on that. So I'm letting everybody know. It doesn't even matter anymore. That's the background part of that. You know, I don't have a, you know, in Illinois, you have to have a FOID card. I don't have one of those. You can't have, that's automatic. You know, it's bad, dude. It was bad. You know, I come out protecting my family, myself, my dog, you know, and everything else. And I get beat up, and nothing happened to the 3 guys that jumped me. I'm on my property. It wasn't off my property like I went and attacked them. I was just yelling stuff from my driveway, basically, or my backyard. Actually, when I first said something, I was on my porch behind a privacy fence. So, but with people assuming, or, you know, to answer that question, you're saying, well, do they think that, do they feel that they had to because of my past? I mean, that question you asked about, do they feel that they have to say something about my past, or is that part of it? Like, what? Is that your business to tell the story? You don't even know. You don't even know what happened. A lot of people don't know I got my ass kicked, and I got my left arm broken, and I got a plate in it. You know, I got hit with a PVC pipe and a metal bar. Does anybody know that? You know, they don't know that. They don't know the rest of the story. You know, oh, Jim's got this. You know, he can't do this, and he can't come back to speed skate. You never. Well, I'm saying it tonight, guys. You guys don't know. Shut your mouth. You guys don't know. You don't know anything. You know, you want the story? My phone number's here, 217-416-4602. Go ahead and call me. I'll say it. Call me. You can email me too. If you want to come on the show, present yourself, I'll address you here. Or want to go to a meet? I'll come to a meet. I'm going to skate. And as soon as I decide the time is right, I'm going to come up with one of these papers, and it's going to be my amateur card. So those people that think that I can never come back to the sport are totally wrong. Totally wrong. Wrong. Serve my suspension. My suspension's up. Has nothing to do with my background. Nothing. Nothing to do with my background. Nothing. So
maybe let's we'll switch gears a little bit right now. I know you're a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Wow, you went a 180. Okay, good. I'm glad. I don't want to talk about the other stuff anyway. All right, go ahead.
So did you cry when Ben retired? Did you shed a tear?
No, no, because I actually applauded, to be honest. 18 years, one team, 0 losing seasons, 2 Super Bowls, MVPs, records beyond belief. I think he's the top 4 in passing yards, or top 5. He's got numerous records, and he's been with the team for 18. One team, one number 7, the black and gold. You got to respect that. 2 Super Bowls. Now, I know the other guy's got a few more, you know, TB, he's got a few, but he wasn't with the whole team. You know, he was with New England for a long time, and then he switched teams and got another one. But I think, I'm not sure. I think they started about the same time, right? They started about the same time.
No, I think, well, yeah,
Brady
I think
a little bit before, right?
I think Brady's a couple years before. Yeah.
Okay. So, but he didn't have a Super Bowl until maybe his 3rd or 4th year. I think he got one, I think. Yeah, I don't think, maybe it wasn't till later, but Ben got one in his, 2nd or 3rd year?
think second year, yeah.
Yeah. Why? Maybe it was second. Maybe.
Would you?
05. Oh, wait.
Would you rather have Ben's career or Tom Brady's career?
In a nutshell, and I don't say this because that's my team, I would rather be respected for staying with a team that I lived and died for, and the colors that I took to the Super Bowl and I'm taking to the Hall of Fame. I have to go with that. And I don't say that because I'm a big Pittsburgh fan. I say that because where he came from, being a youngster, and how he grew with that. I mean, he came off the bench because there was an injured, was it Tommy Maddox? I think that's who was quarterbacking then. Came with it and won the game. Like out of the blue, threw his first touchdown pass. Like it was like a no-brainer. It's like, boom, touchdown. Then he goes on and wins the Super Bowl, like, you know, second or third, fourth year, whatever it was. And then even pulling in Tomlin, he's got no why would any franchise get rid of a guy that has no losing season? You can complain, and I say this about any team, not just the team I love, any team that has a coach, speed skating coach, you're producing a lot of world teams or world teamers or national champions, but who's going to take your place? Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I just say that as with Tomlin having zero, the Rooneys are not going to fire this guy. I'm telling you, he's not going to be fired.
Right.
Thing they got to worry about now is their offensive line and a quarterback who's going to start out the season between Rudolph and Haskins. I think they're going to go with the number 3. They're going to go with Haskins. He's quicker. He's agile. He reminds me of a Donovan McNabb, a Dak Prescott.
Hopefully he's like Donovan McNabb minus the dogfighting.
Yeah, that too. Or no, Michael Vick. Michael Vick.
Yeah,
Michael Vick reminds me of Cordell Stewart. If you could put all that together, Haskins, you're going to lead this team into the playoffs again and have a zero, not a losing season. But
who do you think, who you've got, what is it? It's Kansas City and LA or
Cincinnati.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Joe Burrow.
So all the young dudes are in there right now.
Yeah. So two teams that have not been to the Super Bowl in how long?
30 for Cincinnati, and the Rams have not won since Kurt Warner was their quarterback.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And he's got a movie coming out. And everything, about him. Yeah.
Had a long time ago.
I'm throwing this out there, guys. I'm going with the Rams. I like Cincinnati's chances because they are in our division with Pittsburgh. But I want to go with the Rams for my brother-in-law, RG. They're going to do it. But I like Matt Stafford's playing. I like the way he executes as a quarterback. He was just with a bad team. Not saying Detroit was horrible. He was just with a not a good team. And he was with 13 years. And I'm like, dude, if you were with a good team like 5 years, come to Pittsburgh. We'll take you. He would have been awesome in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
how many, I was going to say, going back the other way around, you had Ben Roethlisberger played 18 years, never had a losing season. How many winning seasons did Stafford actually have in Detroit?
I don't think, I hate to say none, but I could be wrong. It could be only maybe 1 or 2. So Google that. How many?
I think he actually had more serious injuries in Detroit than he had winning seasons.
And Jason, what do you think that relies on? What do you think that outcome is from? Not having an offensive line.
Yeah.
You better recruit, and to recruit and rebuild, you got to get rid of your star guy.
Yeah.
So Detroit did that. So they basically raffle him off and get a couple of first round draft picks and a third rounder here, or a second rounder here. And look what he did. Look where he leads. He goes to the Super Bowl.
And Dominic Sue was there at Detroit, right?
I believe so.
And then he went down and he's in Dolphins. He plays, is he at Miami?
Miami. I think right. Maybe.
Because I think, well, originally, because that's where he was. He was on that line, and he was on the defensive line. But yeah, he was always pulling penalties and shit against, like stepping on. Didn't he like stomp on Brett Favre or something like that at some point?
Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy. I really. It's going to be a good Super Bowl. The playoffs were tremendous this year. Every game from the quarterfinals and going into the championships of, the conference championships, the wild card game, all close. You got 2 4 teams going up against each other, right?
Yeah, 2 4 seeds. Yeah,
it's 2 4 teams are going head to head.
Yeah,
it's not the number ones or a 1 and 3 or it's 2 4 teams.
Yeah.
So a lot of people probably didn't. Maybe they won their division, yes, but their record wasn't enough to give them either a bye or a home field advantage.
I'm not sure what you'll think about this, Jim, but
I'll hang up.
I didn't watch a single football game this year, not one.
Were you against some of the NFL protocol or what they were doing or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not alone. There's a lot so they weren't going to watch it. I streamed it. And I went to 2 games. I went to both Kansas City games. And they were both Pittsburgh games. Yeah. I had to. It's 3 hours. Yeah. It's 3 hours away. Why am I not going to go?
Yeah.
So I went. We got our butts kicked, but I was there. The end of the 16th game, and then we played Baltimore the following week. But I wanted to go, and it was 63 degrees in Kansas City in December. I went again; it was like 35, but the wind was a little chilly. But it was not. It was decent. It was a night game, but it was Jason. I had a blast.
Yeah,
I had a blast.
It's not called Arrowhead Stadium anymore, is it? What's it called?
Wow. No, it is Arrowhead, but it's it had another thing, but they still consider it Arrowhead.
Yeah, I mean all the traditional, the locals will call it that. But
they got the corporate sponsor of the stadium is something Gaha or something GEHA or GAHE, something like that.
Yeah, I just got fed up. I'm watching. Look, I'm a huge college football fan. I love the Miami Hurricanes. I can't watch that. I can't not watch a Miami Hurricane game around anybody else. Because I'm constantly losing my shit. Like I'm flipping tables over and everything. It's not.
Okay. I'll come down. Hey, I'll come down and we'll hang out for the Penn State Miami Hurricane game.
Oh, there you go. That's a good game.
That would probably be if I don't watch college football a lot, but I know it's more exciting. I've gone to a couple Illini-Mizzou game. I've been to that's a big rivalry. Illinois, Missouri. I've been to those a couple times. Illinois basketball in Missouri. Been to those championships before.
Yeah.
I just need to go see I'd really like to go to Michigan to go watch one of their games.
Yeah, you got to go to the big house, of course.
Dude, so loud. You're talking 100,000 people that go to these games.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is actually they're starting this year, 2000. It'll be the 2022 and 2023 seasons, college football seasons. They are playing Miami and Texas A&M are actually playing. They're going to play in the very first game is going to be this, I think, September.
It'll be by you, right?
Yeah.
By you?
That's 45 minutes to the north of me. They're going to play. They're going to play the season opener at Kyle Field. which is 45 minutes from me. So I'll definitely be going to that. And then 2023, the start of the 2023 season, A&M is going to play in
Go there.
Miami. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So they're returning. They're just going back.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I'm pretty excited about that. But you look at these stadiums. You look at something like the Big House or the Horseshoe.
Alabama.
Dude, Alabama. But Kyle Field, where the Aggies play. Oh my God. That place,
Crazy, huh?
It's insane. I mean, it's almost 130,000 people now.
Yes. Where do they put them? They just keep stacking them?
Well, yes. Yes. So
They have to.
It's so high. It's so high and it goes so far back. I mean, the student section at Kyle Field. And I'll tell you this, I've been to a lot of college football games.
Loud.
It's
Wow.
Kyle Field. Well, I haven't been back to the last time I was in Kyle Field.
What?
They still had the end zone at the student section, wasn't fully constructed. Now it's completely enclosed. But it was insanely loud then. But what I was going to say is I've been to a lot of college football games for a lot of different teams. There is no school that you could go to that has more tradition, that does more like just constantly doing shit, whether they're on the road or at home, than Texas A&M.
Wow. Really? Wow.
Oh, it's when and they start swaying, everybody gets in lockstep. Everybody crosses one leg over the other in front of, because you're gonna start swaying back and forth. And the rows are going back and forth like this.
It was like a big old, kind of like a reverse wave kind of.
Oh, dude, it's so insane. So I went to a buddy of mine who's a huge Texas A&M fan. We went to Denver to watch A&M play against the Colorado Buffalo.
Okay.
And it was really funny because I would say 2/3 of everybody in attendance at the game in Denver were from Texas. They were Texas A&M fans. And there happened to be, we were sitting in the end zone, older gentleman behind me. I happened to walk in front of a couple people and I said, excuse me, to get back to my seat. And the older gentleman tapped me on the shoulder and he says, you are he says, every single person from Texas is super polite. This guy's from Colorado. Every person from Texas is super polite. He says, you guys say thank you. You say, excuse me. He says, when Texas A&M came out, everybody from Colorado booed Texas A&M. When Colorado came out, Texas A&M cheered Colorado.
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't get that. I was like, well, that's a tradition. That's like a Texas A&M, like you
cheer your opponent. You got to, I mean, come on.
Yeah. It was the oddest thing, but to lend onto that side of just all the things that they do and Texas A&M does not have cheerleaders.
None.
Yeah. Zero cheerleaders. There are no cheerleaders.
Why the tradition behind that?
So Texas A&M was a male only school. It's an agricultural mechanical, and they have the what's called the Corps. It's basically a military school. If you're part of the Corps, there at Texas A&M, you can go off into the service and like you'll go in and you can be an officer like right away.
Well, I think it's either 2 years or 4 years you have to be first before you go. Yeah.
Like if you went to the Naval Academy, like you go to the Naval Academy and you do your 4 years at the Naval Academy, you get to be a lieutenant Like you come out
Yeah.
in the Navy as a lieutenant. So anyway, the Corps, it used to be a male only school. And so they didn't have cheerleaders. They had what's called their call leaders. And it's like 4 or 5 guys, and there's like a main one, and they wear like, it's a white, very crisp white, looks like a milkman
Yeah.
outfit. And
Yeah.
they're constantly doing, hand signals and they're instructing everybody what to do. And they're getting the crowd into these different cheers. Well, they have what's called yell practice. The night before a home game at Kyle Field, they have yell practice, and it lasts for about an hour. And you'll have about 40 or 50,000 people turn out for this, and it's free, but they go to the stadium and they practice like new students go, and they learn the cheers or the yells and
some chants.
Yeah. And it's a really, really, really cool thing. But yeah. The basketball team, they have cheerleaders at the basketball games. Actually, my niece, just yesterday, she was announced, she's a freshman at Texas or at A&M. And it was just announced yesterday that she's been selected as one of the cheerleaders there. But yeah, it's only for basketball. They don't do it on any football games.
Wow, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
it is what school policy.
At this point, it's just tradition. It's just the way it is. They just the student body doesn't even want it. The student body doesn't even want cheerleaders. They want to just carry. And it's actually the boosters. It's amazing how, I think Texas A&M, if I'm not mistaken, Texas A&M has they're in the top 5 for endowments. You would be very surprised at how much money
comes in from endorsements and people donating and yeah.
Well, it's obviously like Harvard is number 1 at like 50 at like yeah. But at Texas A&M, everybody that, the people that are coming from there, they're oil and landowners.
Yeah, I was just to say oil farmers. Yeah. Agriculture.
So it's unbelievable. Like you're just like, people just don't even think about it. Like College Station, like where the hell is College Station? Like, you got a pretty good idea where Tuscaloosa is just because it's Alabama. Yeah. You got a pretty good idea where obviously Miami and Clemson and stuff like that, but College Station, like it's just a like town in the middle of nowhere. So anyway, so you're going to take, you're taking the Rams in the Super Bowl.
I'll put a little little wager on there.
I'll be honest, Jim, I'm probably not even going to watch the damn Super Bowl.
I'll tell you.
I won't even watch it. I won't even watch it
for
the halftime show.
I'll tell you, I don't have a problem with that. No, I think they're going to be the stronger team. And I think Stafford's going to really, he's probably going to pass for over 300 yards. I'm going to call it right now. He's going to pass for over 300 yards. He's going to have probably about 50 yards rushing on his own, and I'm talking about for first downs or whatever, because the dude's going to want to win. And there's going to be no quitting this kid. Burrows is going to go in there, and he's going to be new. He's going to be, you're talking about a second-year quarterback taking his team to the Super Bowl. He's going to be pumped. Wait till he gets to the grand stage. Hey, how'd you feel when you made it to nationals your first year?
I felt like I had to like piss myself.
What about worlds? When you made the world team, when everybody's dream was to make the world team, and you're Jason, you're up. So
I tell this story. I actually, maybe, hey, maybe they're a little more developed than I was. I don't know, and this is going to be a bit crude.
I doubt it.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm going to say that out loud because I doubt it, because I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to say this bluntly, forwardly, and I've said this on our show before with Danny and I. I'm not going to blame coaches. I'm not going to blame parents, anything. I'm going to blame you as an athlete.
Yeah. If
you don't go do your own research, you're not getting any better. If you don't go practice, you're not going to get any better. You don't go train, you're not going to. It's too cold outside.
Yeah.
Really? What do you think about the people that were in Michigan that were going to Worlds winning gold medals? You don't think that they're skating outside? Or Pennsylvania or Washington? Just because you're sugar coated and you got all this tampering from Florida or your neck of the woods in Texas or Southern Cal, or Southern Georgia or New Orleans or the lower half of the country where it's warmer. It's not really warm now, but and it's not because it was almost 50, 55 or almost 60 degrees here today and yesterday, and it was 30 in Florida.
It was 65 degrees here today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Wednesday, it's going to be the same. We got another front coming through on Thursday, and it's supposed to rain all day long, and the temperature is going to steadily drop, and it's supposed to be like 27 degrees Thursday night.
So we got the rain today, but it was still 51 degrees when I drove home at, say, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, quarter 6:30, 6 o'clock. It was 51 degrees. It's not sticking, even if it drops, but we're supposed to get down to 9. Yeah, that's what the one forecast says. I don't know if that's changed, but I believe it's going to swoop and go north of us. We're not going to get.
That's painful.
They're looking about 8 inches is what they're calling for.
That'd be fun. I mean, look, I'll be honest. Look, we're approaching today with February. Today's February 1st. Happy Black History Month.
You're thinking just like I am. Yeah. Hey, Black History Month. Yeah.
Yeah. But in February of last year, on the 16th, we had a massive freeze here in Texas.
We got snow. Yeah. We had big snow.
So we already had snow. We had snow and ice on the ground from 2 previous days of precipitation. Well, then the temperatures dropped here, and they stayed pretty close to 0 for like 48 hours. And when everything thawed out,
that's Houston, Texas, guys.
Oh, this was the entire state. The entire state was like the entire state. And it actually resulted in the largest catastrophic event in the state of Texas history. There was over 3 million insurance claims filed for pipes breaking in homes that were flooded
because they weren't prepared.
Yeah. Well, we lost the power went out. The power went out to something like 60% of the homes in the state. And
they just Ricky Brock blame it on global warming.
Oh God. Having a conversation with Ricky about the fucking power grid. No. Oh man. No, because we have a decentralized power grid. We have a deregulated power grid here in Texas. And a big part of what occurred was we have windmills, a lot of windmills in West Texas. Well, there was something like 5 power plants that were offline at the time of this occurring. And they were just offline for maintenance. They were regularly scheduled. Well, then the windmills froze, and they generate 10% of the power. So it started this fucking snowball effect that just started putting the strain. They said we were literally 5 minutes from complete catastrophic power grid failure here in Texas. The entire power grid was going to go out. I mean, beyond repair. They were talking about like it was going to go down and be damaged like so badly that it was going to take a year to 2 years to rebuild it. Like people were going to be without power for like 6 months to a year.
Wow.
but yeah, it was a pretty insane event. But yeah, February 16th of 2021, we had a massive freeze. And so that's on the top of everybody's mind right now here in Texas, is because the storm right now, we're going to get it on Thursday, but it's starting to approach San Antonio and Dallas, and they're already getting snow, freezing rain, ice on the ground. So they're expecting.
We're getting rain. St. Louis is just getting some rain.
Oh yeah, it's freezing rain and snowing, starting to do that.
Far before us, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get a little something.
Yeah, because I think it's gonna come up north towards you guys.
Yeah. What was I gonna mention? Shoot, you mentioned something I was gonna comment on.
Well, I was gonna tell you what. We probably need to wrap this.
Oh,
we're going on 2 hours, but no, there's one more thing. There's one more thing that I wanted to bring up to you, and I think it's a little more fun, a little more of a joke.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I talk to Jeff Puckett on probably 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, and he's going to be coming on the show because he moved down here. Thank God he moved here, moved to Texas, was able to get himself out of Louisiana.
He's a good kid.
Yeah. So what's the deal?
So can I say this? Don't talk shit. You, Jeffrey Puckett or Dustin Hepson, don't talk shit, dude. Dustin, you've been a friend of mine. You've been at my house. You don't do it. Don't go there. I'm telling you now. Don't go there.
So what's the deal?
The moment you guys see me walk in the ring and you turn your back, I'm going to come up to you. So
I don't know Dustin. We're friends on Facebook. I don't personally know Dustin.
So the whole topic came up with the video.
Right.
That's all it came up with. Okay. We just threw it at, regardless. It doesn't even matter, Jason, Jeffrey, Justin, Bentley. It doesn't matter who it was. I asked a coworker of mine, Jason, after this all happened. Coworker has no idea what inline speed skating is, has no idea. She comes from an automotive racing background. I say, Angie, I'll show you a video. Tell me what you think. I'm not going to say anything. I just want you to watch it. She watches the video, split second goes by, sees the wrap up, sees the fall. What do you think? I stopped it. She goes, oh, well, that guy in the orange should have been black flagged. And I'm like, you mean like disqualified? She says, yeah. And I go, well, he later was, which it was, which they made the right call on that. I said, what do you think about the other kid? Okay. And I said, let me play it again. Let me play it and I'll watch the whole thing go through. She goes, wow, that really affected the other kid, didn't it? And I'm like, well, yeah. But she didn't know the outcome of what happened after that. I said, well, a lot of people were making fun. They put music to it. And I'm going to be honest with you, Jason. I did laugh. But to an outsider looking in, that was our big thing. Was it professional? Was it respectful? Did it look bad? Of course it did. Okay. Now, you guys, this is just my opinion, Danny's opinion. We had other people commenting. We had other coaches commenting that it did look bad. We brought Dave Weber on and he said it was even bad. You guys can make fun of it all you want. You can bash me and bash my show and try to come up with some parody of our show and the DJ's happiest hour, which I thought was kind of comical myself.
That was pretty entertaining.
It was. I said, go ahead and try it. Go ahead and try it. And then Danny comes on the next show and he's got a mirror. He's got a mirror up in front of the camera. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm just showing a reverse of what they did, whatever. I'm like, I don't really care. It doesn't even matter. I really don't care that they do this because all it's giving us props. they're coming off of us. We didn't copy or do anything or make some parody or whatever, but I'll do what I got to do to make our show entertaining, fun, controversial, and I will be controversial. You know that. And I'll debate anything. I've been in the sport too damn long. Knowing what I know, I'll argue any point. And I did say argue, not saying I'm right or wrong, but I will argue with you on my show. You want to come on the show, you want to put up an argument, I'm going to debate you all night with it. And then I'll delete. I'll delete you. But Jeffrey Puckett, I don't have an issue with Jeffrey. But you go on social media and you start putting your little blasts out there, then we got a little bit of an issue. That's not how friends should act toward each other. Dustin, same thing to you. And I'm telling you, this is from being a friend. Now, that's a friend. I don't care about that. You want to have fun, but you weren't in. But I don't even know why Dustin got involved, because he brought up some stuff too. He brought up some Don't air the laundry on social media, because I know a lot about him as well, and the other side of his so-called sponsorship. So I know a lot of what's going on. And he goes, "Oh, you just want to throw it out there?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to. No, because I'm not like that. I'm not going to do that. But you want to keep going at it? We'll go at it, and I'll throw you out there, and I'll embarrass you. And then where are you going to be? You know, especially the guy that helps him out. So, what you want to know? You're looking confused.
No, I'm just listening.
No, it's bad. It's bad, and you know, I didn't do. We're just commenting on a video how bad it looked from the outsiders looking in, and we're trying to get to the next level.
Yeah.
But we got this person doing this person doing that. And I'm like, wow. So to answer the girl's question that I asked at work, she goes, "What happened to the other guy?" I go, "Well, in this style of race, when the leaders come around and they lap the last person in the race who's on the back of the pack, they're eliminated from the race." So she goes, wait a second. Now, this is nobody that knows about our sport, right? She goes, well, wait a second, Jim. She goes, but that guy held him a little bit, and he was getting up and held him a little bit more and affected him from getting back in the race. And then he got left because pack's coming around, they're moving.
Right. I
didn't really think about it that way, but as an official, here's the thought that I had. If I would have saw that, if I was standing where, and I believe it was Brian Talley standing right there next to the fall, I saw his face and his ponytail standing right next to that fall, I would have gave Bentley the reprieve on him being eliminated from the race. I wouldn't have DQ'd. I wouldn't have eliminated from the race because he got held. I would have kept him in the race.
Kind of like in NASCAR, where when if you're a lap behind or you're down or something like that, where they give you a free pass.
Well, then Bentley would have been able to stay in the race and at least finish the race. It wouldn't have been no more elimination. He would have been in the race. There would have been no more eliminations from then on.
Yeah.
That would have been my call from the corner if I wasn't the chief. If I was the chief, that's the call that I would have made and stood on it and got the, from either the meet director for one or the assistant chief if they saw it.
Now, see here, but this is my thought. Now, I'm a rough individual, even kind of to this day. I don't agree with cheating. I can say that as a skater. Did I probably do some mean shit? Yes. My second biggest regret in skating is I literally tried to, this was at Outdoor Nationals. I tried to hurt Luke Langer. It was
Wisconsin.
Yep. It was 1998.
What's his brother's name? He had a brother
Andy.
too. Langer, Andy. Yeah. Luke and Andy. Yeah.
So it was marathon. And I'm not supposed to be skating as fucking thing anyway. I'm not qualified to skate a marathon.
You just won the 300-meter. Why are you skating a marathon for?
Yeah.
You're already on the team. Who cares about the marathon?
I had already made the team, and that particular year ended up being Fred, Charlie Craven, Luke, and myself. Well, in this marathon, we're coming down the straightaway. We were at we were holding the road course was at the mall. It's when they were holding.
I do remember that. What year was that?
This was 98. 1998. And the back stretch was downhill, and it was going towards the bottom of the parking lot, and then we would go around like the parking median or whatever and loop back up and come and sprint up the hill to the finish line. Well, I remember going into that corner and literally like sprinting all out, because I knew either I'm going down or I'm getting disqualified. I got both. But like I literally sprinted down that corner with no intention. Well, I had no intention of passing Luke. I was literally going to just put him over the curb, which I did. And then I fell and I got disqualified. And I honestly, I should have, Andy was going to whoop my ass that night. I probably deserved it. But that's my second biggest regret in all of speed skating, my whole time I skated. But
so there you go, Andy. He's apologizing in a way.
I did. I mean, I came to him afterwards, and it was a real.
You guys both still made the team.
Well, yeah, we were the team was picked at that point. We'd already all been selected. Everybody had already been told who was going to be doing what and everything. So it was just me being a dickhead, and I was not happy at the time that he made the team, but I'm glad he did, because he turned out to be an amazing guy. He's a great guy. And,
him and his brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Jason. What do you think about this kind of rule set forth? If the rules were the same today, okay, and now the distances have changed, and we're going to specialists, that they shouldn't be doing specializing races for the better skaters that are faster, or the better skaters that are endurance skaters or interval skaters, that middle distance. Specializing, like Colombia does, like France does, like Italy does. They have their people that they do just the 300, the 500, and a time trial, whatever, road or track. Should we go to that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I can honestly say that.
Hold on. One more question. Hold that question. Hold that thought. Okay. You can honestly say, so you made the team winning the 300. You were already on the team. Let's say you skate one more reskeys. Let's say you skate the 500 on road, or let's say you win the 300 on road too as well. I hope you did, or if they did both, then, and you go to the track and you skate the 500 and you fall and you, I don't know, separated shoulder, hurt your back, hurt your hip, maybe sprain an ankle really bad. No broken bones. I don't want to go that far, but let's just say something happens. Okay. You're already on the team. Do you agree that if you're already on the team, you're done? You don't skate to affect any other races. You're already on the team. We'll select you if you're going to be capable of making or doing the 500 or the 1,000 or the 200 or 300 on track or road. You're already on the team. You already got your uniform. You're already out the door. Why should you subject or be subjected or selected to run another race and possibly get hurt because people are trying to? You're already on the team. Doesn't matter. So you might further subject yourself to an injury somewhere down the line.
Well, like when we back in the 90s, obviously for every race it was winner got first got 30 points, second got 20, third got 10. like the first time I made the team, I actually did not make. Now, my win in the 300 meter on track is what ultimately put me over, because as a sprint, I won the sprint champion.
That's what I'm saying. You
Right.
won this race.
But-
you shouldn't have to run any more races. You're already on the team.
But I didn't actually make it based on winning that one race. So the way it was all done is, in order to win the sprint champion, you had to win one of the 4 sprint races, the 300 on road or track, or the 500 on road or track.
Okay.
You had
About
to.
what year was that?
This 1996.
Okay, so prior to that, if you won the 300 on track, you were automatically on the team.
Yeah, see, for us, they changed the rules. I guess they changed the rules that year. And
I thought that was like, sworn that was later. Sorry, guys, I might be wrong on what I just said, but I think that that's what I always said about Keith. Keith wins the 300, he's automatically on the team.
Yeah, I think the rules for senior at the time were a little
different. I think it was. So they were automatically track. It wasn't track champion. It was sprint champion. They were automatically on the team. Then they changed it to every junior and senior to winner the 300, and you had to at least medal or place or win one of the other. Right. 200 on road, or 300 on road, or 500s on track or road.
Yeah, because they went to the 4 people team. Ended up being, like I said, they had a track champion who had the most aggregate points from track. There was the road champion who had most aggregate points from road. Then there was the overall champion who had the most aggregate points from all of them. That was not the road or track. You could actually have like, for example, I mean, there was one year that Fred could have taken the track championship and the overall, and then Charlie could have done the road champion and overall.
Vice versa.
Yeah. And then you have the sprint. The only difference was that you could literally, you could in theory win the track championship and never actually win a race. You could get second in every single race on the track,
and you point your way in.
Exactly. But the sprint champion was the only one. The only way to win the sprint championship was you had to win one of those races.
Won the 300 on track, because that was the first one. So with that said, because what they do is, let's say the guy or the person that beats you in one of the, let's say the 1,000, he might be the second sprinter.
Right.
He's already on.
Right.
And you're still not on yet, but you keep getting seconds across the board. And then you're second in the 500 on road or 1,000 on road, but that other guy might be overall track. So they take 6 now. So it's
right.
First sprinter, second sprinter, overall track, overall road, then overall, or whatever, however, distance, what, I mean, they put some ridiculous, you know what? You guys already know who the top dogs are. I'm not saying don't run an outdoor nationals. I'm saying let them race. You let them race these races. Do you really need to race a 20K to determine who's going to be who?
Right.
Do you really? You're already going to, just duplicate the time at Worlds is what I'm saying.
I can tell you, I can tell you that I wish that, look, again, going back all the way back to the very beginning of this conversation, the environment at Champions was built around Chad. And Chad was a hell of a sprinter, but obviously he was this long distance guy. I mean, he could do the marathons and he does the, points eliminations and all that stuff. So the theory was that if you can't do those long distances, you're not shit. Because if Chad was a sprinter, then we would all be doing sprints. But because Chad was a long distance guy, we were all forced to do long distances.
Well, look how good you guys have got because of that.
Oh, no doubt. But
yeah,
there's absolutely zero physical growth, purpose that I am going to get from skating a 10K every single day. There would literally be weeks.
Just good at a 10K.
Yeah.
You're just good at a 10K. That's it.
But I'm never going to be competitive at that, especially if I'm a sprinter. And I mean, we would literally go weeks without doing sprints. And I'm like, I'm a sprinter. Like that's no, you're an all, no, I'm a fucking sprinter. I have never won a longer race than like 1,500 meters. I'm a fucking sprinter.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah.
So, I would say that I wish that the world team had been structured a little bit differently back then, that where you could, in theory, specialize to say, all right, if you do well in the sprints, there is no purpose for you to skate the rest of this. I was literally made to skate every other goddamn race at outdoor nationals with no expectation whatsoever that I was even going to finish them.
Yeah.
Like I was made to skate the points eliminations and the points and I was made to skate every single one of these races. And it was just like seriously, like I'm not like I'm not going to win this race. I'm certainly not going to skate it at Worlds.
That'd be like putting BJ Robinson in a 1,500 meter.
Yeah. So
nothing. Hats off to you, Billy. I don't mean that in a bad way because he was a man. He was. Well,
BJ was right there with me. Like he actually watched a video. Like him and I.
Because he's younger, right? He's younger than
he's 1 year younger than I am. Yeah.
1 year. Yeah.
But we, you know, so like for example, but I can tell you that like what you're talking about does have an effect. Obviously, on the senior team, they would, you know, Chad and Derek. Once Chad got past and basically retired Dante and Tony, Chad was picking the world team every year. Yeah. He was determining who's on the team with him, other than he ain't gonna stop Keith's gonna make the team through his sprinting and you know. But I can tell you, like say for example, in 1999, I actually did not win the sprint champion. I mean, I won every sprint race. I won the 300 meter on road and track. I won the 500 meter on track, but I had won so many points from all of the different races that I actually won the overall. I wasn't even named sprint champion in 1999. I was actually the overall champion. And one of the very last races was the 500 meter on road. And we hadn't had a sprint champion named yet. Well, there was basically Jerome McKinstry.
Oh, Jerome was a Chicago boy.
That's right.
Jerome was quick. He was out of Roxy Hills.
Yep. So there was Jerome, Ryan Cox, and Joey Collazo.
Wow.
Now
that's a group.
Those are the only three people that were running in contention that actually had points in the other sprint races. So
let me ask this, Jay. So if you just, hey, I'm already on, basically you're already on team because you got the overall, basically. Mm-hmm. A sprint champ. What if you didn't run it and one of those two ran it? Would one of those two have made it, or one of those three made it, team?
So that's well, yeah. See, here's what ends up happening.
I probably jumped the gun.
No, I ended up racing it. I raced the 500 meter, and I ended up blocking everybody so that Joey could win.
Oh, okay. So Collazo.
Collazo ended up winning. Actually, I'm going to be seeing Collazo. I fly to Florida on Sunday.
Really?
I'm going to see him. Yeah. We're going to do an episode. I'm going to take my equipment with me. We're going to do an episode.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah. But so I ended up blocking the pack. I blocked everybody. I mean, there's video of it. I'm blocking everybody. So Joey ends up winning the 500 meter on road and is therefore named the sprint champion. He was the fourth person to make the team. It was because that year it was Harry Vogel, Adam Miller, Joey, and myself.
Sick.
Yeah, it was a great team. I think we won that year out of the 12 races that we were able to skate. I think we won 10 of the 12 gold medals that year. Yeah.
They're starving for a bronze right now.
Well, actually, sorry. Yeah. So we actually, well, because we won the relay too. We won the relay by like well over a corner. I think we set a record that year. It was me, Adam, and Harry. Anyway. But going back to that, yeah, think of there could have been a completely different outcome if Jerome actually whoever ended up winning that race, whoever ended up winning that 500 meter was going to be named the sprint champion. As long as I did not place. If I got second or third, one of those three people, whichever one of those three people won that race, was going to be named the sprint champion. But because I skated when I didn't need to, I ended up it was a foregone conclusion at this point that Joey Collazo was going to win it. Because I blocked everybody for him. Joe's my buddy.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Yeah, that's some names back then, man. Yeah. But that's where Zach's doing, not that you blocked the other two or whatever, so somebody could make team, whatever. But sometimes that's what it is. It is what it is. But going to Worlds, are you sending the best of the best? What is our selection process now?
I think
that
time it was different.
We could do that for another topic because that's a long, drawn-out topic, and a lot of people disagree of how you make team and why you make team. I'm like, okay, so you're going to put the sprinter in a 10K points race?
You see, I guess that's
that's why you don't get a medal.
Look, I think the obviously it's a different time, and Fred and I talk about this all the time, and we've talked about it on the shows. This is not to bash any current athlete.
Exactly.
We know what it takes. It's difficult, but it was a different caliber. We'll just say a different caliber back then. It was understood that this group of people coming from the USA was coming back with a substantial amount of gold medals from Worlds. That bronze was not, we weren't happy with bronze. We were going after gold every fucking race.
Everyone.
And so you literally at the time when we were skating, you could have literally selected the team and they could not have gone wrong with the caliber of skaters that we had at that time in comparison to the rest of the world. They could have just gone out and picked the team. I probably wouldn't have been picked because I was an asshole. So they probably would have never picked me for the team. Thank God we had to qualify. But you could have picked a team at that time and still come away with substantial amount of gold medals.
Females included. Oh my God. Deep.
Predominantly the females. I mean, the females were more dominant than the males.
Well, that's how, well, you had one guy back there and taking all the gold medals. So, everybody else is kind of hanging on, or he was sharing a few here or there, Keith. But the girls were all like first and second, second and third, first and third, second and third.
Every race.
First year, sick.
Well, yeah, I mean, you had Gypsy in 90, 94, 95, and then all of a sudden, you got Julie and Cheryl and Teresa and Jessica, Jessica Smith, when she moved up from junior.
Senior.
But then, on the junior side, you had Ashley. You had Esty Frakes, Michelle Bazeau.
Yep.
I mean, the female athletes, I think overall, if you went back and looked at it, and I guess waited for, the Chad effect. I think the U.S. women actually probably won more gold medals overall than the men did.
Just overall performance was more than the guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
hands down.
You'll never have a more dominant female than Teresa Cliff.
No, that's already been established. Yeah. It's not gonna happen.
And I love Cheryl. Like Cheryl's like a sister to me. And Cheryl's phenomenal. Like God, you know, it was so much fun to practice with her because she was so fast and she was mean.
She's so sweet though. You know, on the track, yeah. Brutal on the track, sweet off. You know,
yeah. Sweetest woman you could ever meet right now. I mean, she was sweet back then, but my God, when you got on the track with her, it was so much fun because it was like she was just like one of the guys, and she's gonna throw an elbow and
but don't get beat by her.
No.
Who's gonna get beat by Cheryl this week? Who's gonna get beat by Ashley or Micah Archie or you know any of the other little girls from you know?
Spring. Oh yeah.
Hey, so kind of off topic.
Yeah.
Still saying on Cheryl, and I don't know. I mean, you could say this if you want. I don't. I'm not trying to. Did she get remarried?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's
all. I saw the post. Really nice testimony. I didn't know. I just it was kind of confusing, and I'm like,
well,
I think it's the same guy.
It's the same guy.
Okay.
Yeah, same guy.
So it's the same husband.
Yeah, they just, you know what? God bless them. They stuck through some hard times and they worked through it. And
okay, good. Enough. Cheryl, congrats. Yeah. Good. Okay, so it's not a remarried thing. Okay, good. I was kind of
she's awesome.
Yeah, that's so. Hi, Cheryl. If you ever watch the show, I miss you guys, man. I miss a lot of you guys, man.
I actually talked to her about trying to come on the show, and she's like, "Hell no." She's hell no.
Hey, Elliot won't come on mine, so
Elliot won't come on mine either.
Dane Lewis won't come either, so don't even try.
I did. I messaged Dane, and he didn't even respond.
Yeah, he won't.
But I tell you what, I do have coming on. On my upcoming shows, I got Troy Atwell is going to be.
I had Troy on.
Yeah. So then Matt Hallbreich is going to come on.
Good.
Steve Kowalski is going to come on.
There you go. You're touching a lot of old school. You know.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to get. I asked Adam Miller. Same way. He's like, hell no, I don't want to be on camera. He's like, and he's a very private guy. I tell you what, Adam Miller is a sweet man. Like
he's down to earth family man. I saw him. It's been a few years, but I was out that way in Kansas City. I came back and hung out with him for, a night basically, and then I came back home. But
his son is like a world caliber BMX
BMX
rider.
And
they have there's a huge event that they hold here in Houston twice a year, which it's an insane thing. We can't get enough money to build a track that would be literally used almost year round. But they spent almost $50 million building this BMX facility, pretty much in the ghetto. Big sponsored by Rockstar. Oh, it's insane. But they haven't obviously come down for a couple years now because of COVID. But when they would come down, I would go see them and hang out with them for the day. And
that's awesome. I need to just take a trip, dude. I just need to take a trip. And just, man, be great. Be awesome.
Man, come on down.
Yeah, definitely. Heck yeah, why not?
Come on down.
Or you on JD Happy Hour again.
There we go. Have another JD.
We do your show from the back porch or the deck or whatever, Fred over there. Hey, Fred, you don't want to go one-on-one with me. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Look, I've got enough places inside the studio. I've got all the microphones in there. We can put 4 people inside the studio. We can all sit around the table. We bring in Dustin Garcia, and we can shit on each other for a couple hours.
I need to bring my spare. Do I need to bring a spare?
Yeah, bring one of your miphones. Yeah.
There you go. Well, Jason, Jim, awesome, dude. This thing's so good, man. A lot of general stuff, a lot of personal stuff. Hey, but I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm good. Good, man. I have no regrets. Nothing. I love what Danny and I do with our show. I don't care. I don't care what you think. Not you, everybody out there. I don't really care. We speak what we do, and I have the comment, or I have our quote. It's the voice of the voiceless, because I'm not afraid to say what everybody else is afraid to say, and I will say it. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to find that answer. And it's going to be a correct one. If I'm wrong, I'm going to admit it. I haven't been wrong yet. And the people that come on our show, they want to bash or make comments on the side and say all this and say all that. You know what? It's probably a good thing that you're doing it and then you share it so you don't see all it, because I have to go look, and there's times I have to block people and so people know.
See, that's what I do differently than you, and I do it specifically for this reason, because I don't read the comments. Now I get on like the way you guys do your show. Yeah, you guys, I love the format of your show. I think it's great. It's interactive. You bring a lot of people in. It gets them involved. But me personally, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah, I know. It's all good though. It's all good, Jay.
Yeah,
it's all good.
So no, I love it. I love what you guys do, Jim. Yeah, JD Happy Hour. What do you guys do? You guys, when's your next show?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Well, I know there's Olympic opening ceremonies are on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, our time.
Yep.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I get off work in time, I will. If not, because I not that I don't want to watch opening ceremonies, it's people parading through. It's a parade. I get it. Hey, that's why I wore this tonight, and I'll wear it again. I want them all to do well. I hope they do.
Sure.
I really hope they do, and I'm not mentioning any particular names, but I hope that downhill skier does what she's got to do to be the most decorated downhill skier, because she's the other one. Okay, I'm going to end it there before I say something bad or wrong, or people get offended. But no, I hope they all do well. I hope they all do well, and I think they will. But I don't want to come on here in 2 weeks and go, "I told you so."
Well, I'm gonna have Jonathan Garcia on tomorrow. I talked to Renee Hildebrandt tonight. She's going to be coming on at some point, probably in the next couple days before the weekend's up. I don't know. Maybe have her on. So be great to have her on, considering 3 of her athletes, that she groomed
She's been involved with. Yep. Oh yeah, totally.
So, be pretty fun. So but Jim, hey, thank you so much, man. Thank you for coming on.
It's awesome, dude. I appreciate the opportunity of being a guest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being a guest on somebody else's show. But that's what it's about. That's why I didn't pull out the banner. This is me. This is me back here. That's me.
Well, next time, have you here. We could do it from the studio. We can sit in the studio.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Maybe smoke a cigar and drink some whiskey.
Well, one of the two.
Hey, I'm the same way. I don't
smoke at all. But hey, I can bring you a nice bottle. So, because I do that a little bit for a living. So I got some stash.
Awesome.
It's some stash that you guys it'll be off the hook. But no, Jason, thank you, man. Keep doing what you're doing too. I appreciate it. And a lot of my stuff back here in these 2 rooms, and you can't really see it. Start to turn the light off back there. Jason was the man that helped me. Hey, Jason, I got how to cut this shit. How you do this? Hey, I'm at Home Depot right now. Hey, I'm at Home Depot. What did you say I need to get? So, hey, I'm impressed with what I've done. I mean, I got a couple of mistakes, but no, if you saw it in person, I know it looks okay. What I did, I can't really show you this side over here, but it's amazing. I can't move everything. I got 4 monitors here in front of me. I mean, literally 4. So, but I can't move everything. But I got This shelf over here, you see the V goes down?
Yeah.
To retrim that out. All that brown, the stained brown, I did sand that all. This wall right here looks just like that wall. So it's between the door. There's a doorway right here. And then this doorway here goes to the front, out the front door. And then, of course, my bedroom. So,
Looks great, man.
Jason,
looks great.
Thanks for having me, dude. I appreciate it. I love you, man. You know, you're awesome, dude. But it's, I miss all the old times. I really do. It's if these kids today only knew what it was like back then, you know, man,
different world.
Exciting. No, it's totally different. And they just don't know. They don't know. You can watch video, but you don't get it's the presence of being there. You guys can go watch an old Texas shootout video, get to it. I'm going to try to I got tons of videos I want to go digital with. As soon as I can figure out how I can do that and stream it, dude, it's going to be on.
That'd be awesome.
It's going to be on. I'm sure your bonehead is in there somewhere on one of these videos.
One or two, probably.
Probably more than that.
Well, Jim, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey,
you have a great night, and anytime. Hey, you want to do it again? I'm good.
All right, sir.
Thanks, man. Good. Take care.